We are officially 9 weeks out from the Olympia, and just gonna take you through my day so far. Pretty much just woke up this morning, felt very energetic, slept really well. So usually a good sign of good sleep is when I wake up, I have a lot of energy and I'm just looking forward to doing my fasted cardio session. So right off the jump, got my cardio session done. I did about 40 minutes on the spin bike. I like to switch between spin bike, elliptical, and Stairmaster depending on how I feel. When I do one of them a bit too frequently, I like to switch it up time and time. But start off my cardio session early, got it done, felt really good, no issues. I like to do cardio fasted because it kind of kickstarts my day. I get a little bit of caffeine in me. I'm able to use that caffeine to push through my cardio session really intensely, and then right after I do my cardio session, I'm able to attend to my clients and still have caffeine running through my system. And it's just a good way for me to build momentum for the day. But following the cardio session, I love to use the sauna, love stretching, just helping my body reduce inflammation from just all the hard training I'm doing over the days. And I love to stretch in the morning just to get more in tune with my body. I feel like stretching is very essential, and I advise everyone to stretch just because it's just going to translate to your training sessions, your performance in the gym, all of that. But right now, I'm literally making breakfast. I'm going to make some eggs, same old breakfast, just eggs and oatmeal. I pretty much eat the same thing every single day, and you know, when it comes to a routine, it becomes pretty mundane, but you're pretty much a slave to routine, and that's just how it is when you're really chasing goals. And that could be whatever you're doing. For me, it's obviously preparing for the Olympia, so every single day I'm doing the same exact thing almost at the same time. So it's like it becomes so repetitive that it feels like my days are just so boring. But that's just the reality of when you're committing towards a goal. That could translate to many things, such as like pursuing to become like a nurse or like a doctor. You have a schedule that's just so repetitive, the studying, the tests, and then you're doing the same thing day in and day out, but you always have to look at the bigger picture and you're chasing a goal. And from my experience, as I was younger, that's something I always remained disciplined towards. If I have a goal, I try to build a structured routine that can cater towards that goal, and I just keep up with the routine as long as I'm seeing the results. And typically when I do see results, I get much more motivated, and then it just makes it easier for me to strive towards my goal because I know I'm doing something right. And there's so many indicators that you could use to kind of track if you're on the right path or not. But let me get this first meal in. Your boy is hungry. Time for me to break my fast. It's definitely one of my favorite parts of the day, just because when I go to bed sometimes I am feeling extremely exhausted and hungry, and I look forward to that fasted cardio session because once I get it done, I look forward to having a meal like this, which is just eggs and oatmeal, which is very basic. But when you're dieting, you have to keep in mind that everything tastes super good. So even having more of what I'm typically eating is pretty satiating for me. Being on prep, it definitely taught me a lot about just myself, you know, how to be self-sufficient and making sure I am accountable with whatever it is that I'm doing. And if your goal is to ever compete and you want to do it just for the experience, go there with the mentality to win, because when you have the mentality of, oh, like I'm gonna do this to win, you're almost gonna put all your eggs into that basket. You're gonna commit towards that goal, and time, whenever I do these competition preps, just my goal is always to win. I never really go there with the idea of like, oh, like let me try to make it into the first call out, or let me try to get top 3 or top 4. The mindset should always be, I'm going there to win. And the amount of work that you do from the point that you start to the day of the show is going to really matter. To get into a certain kind of conditioning, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice, a lot of long hours in the gym, and you have to be aware of what you're getting into if you are trying to do competition. Because I get people coming to me all the time saying, oh, I want to go pro next year, can you help me and all this, but they haven't ever done a show before. They haven't really dieted before. They just have this idea of like, oh, I want to go pro, but everything in between going pro and where they are is a lot of work. So that's just a little advice for just competitors. If you're gonna go and try to compete to win, or obviously try to get into the best shape possible, and that will be a win for you, just because you can make a drastic transformation and learn a lot out of it, and maybe learn something about yourself. I think that will go a long way, because developing a mindset that is very durable is very important, just because that will come to play when you're very depleted, when you have to get those hardcore cardio sessions in on top of the training while being dieted. your mentality capacity of what you're able to endure is just going to start to really weigh on you. And if you have the experience of doing it many different times, the way you can adapt to it would be much more smooth. Like for me, I know the amount of work I'm going to have to do from being here right now 9 weeks out to the day of the show, and it's something I think about week to week, and I have an idea on like what I need to do, but I just know the kind of work that I have to do, and it does give me anxiety sometimes, just because I know how intense the training is going to be, or how hard the diet's going to be, and how having a strong mindset is just going to really favor you if you're trying to compete. But if your goal is just to get in shape, get healthier, you know, you could apply the same thing, because it's all about building a mindset at the end of the day. And if you have a strong mindset, that can translate to your training or your discipline. So being able to mentally endure saying no to, like, I don't know, unhealthy foods or unhealthy habits you have, maybe it's snacking or whatever it may be, that's just going to build more discipline, and then you're going to see the results within your goals. So that's just like a little advice for you guys. I'm about to dig into my breakfast. But I have my pre-training meal of the day, which is going to be 3 ounces of chicken, 3 ounces of salmon. What I like to do typically is cook a bunch of chicken one day and kind of put it in a Tupperware. And when I do go ahead and make my meal, I'll just weigh out my food right then and there. I don't really prep it meal by meal, cook the food in bulk, and then from there I just weigh out as I eat. And then I feel like that has been the best way for me in terms of just being consistent with things. And that way I can also just have fresh food at all times and cook it the way I would want to. I would typically put it in the stovetop or the microwave if I'm running quick. But that's just some advice for you guys. Going to crush this pre-meal, maybe take an hour nap. So what I like to do is I'll have my pre-training meal, take a nap for like a good hour, then I'll wake up and then head to the gym, fully energized and ready to crush it. Today I do plan on training some chest, so very excited to share with you guys what I'll be doing. Gonna focus on going really heavy, using a lot of presses and different variations. So I'll be explaining the sequences that I'll be using within my training session today. But gonna go ahead and finish up eating this pre-training meal and then taking my nap, and then I'll touch base with you guys in a bit. Got up from a nap not too long ago, just doing a bit of check-ins right now with my clients before I head to the gym. Watching warm-ups for the fights this weekend, which is going to be pretty nuts, with Islam and Charles Oliveira. Peter Yan against Sean O'Malley. It's such a crazy fight card, so if you do watch UFC, I am a huge mixed martial arts fanatic, so I pretty much watch all the pay-per-views and I keep up to date with everything. Here are my puggies. They are just... What's up, buddy?
The Octagon is headed back to Abu Dhabi and the lightweight title is on the line.
Just gonna finish up with these check-ins. Not that much left at this point in the day, and I can't wait to train chest. He takes it personal when it comes to his toys. If you ever feel stressed out in life, get a pug. They are the best companion dogs in the world. They are extremely clingy, as you can see, but they are really high maintenance and they're very needy for certain things. But these two are pretty obedient, and I'm thankful that they are who they are. Alright, about to make my caffeinated drink before my workout, which is just a nice cup of coffee. It's a special one. The kind of coffee I use, it's called super coffee. So this has about 200 mg of caffeine, and I just love coffee that I pretty much just use it as my caffeine source, and then I'll go ahead and use like a pump product. So I will show you guys what I'll be using right before this workout. I'll do about like a scoop of this, probably do it right now. And then on the way to the gym, I'll be sipping on the nice cup of coffee. Just made it to the gym. I'm gonna be starting off with some chest flies just to warm up, just to pre-exhaust my chest, just because I like to really fully contract and get all the muscle fibers firing before getting to any heavy presses or anything of that sort of nature. I feel like in the past when I didn't really warm up, I am just kind of going through the motion, whereas if I really fully get a good, kind of like a mini pump before I get into my workout from just warming up, my workouts are just much better. My mind and muscle connection is more efficient. Gonna be doing about 4 to 5 sets of just chest flies, focusing on just squeezing at the top of the rep and then controlling the negatives for 2 seconds. And the goal is to just keep constant tension on the chest the whole entire time. So when I'm doing chest flies, I like to keep my chest up. I try to squeeze and 2-second negatives. 1, 2, squeeze. 1, 2, squeeze. Now we're going to move on to the first actual exercise, which is going to be a flat dumbbell press. It's first prep set now and see how I feel. That felt pretty light, so I'm gonna jump to 90. And that's a key thing when you're trying to warm up. You don't want to you don't want to use too much energy in your warm-up sets. So this is pretty much still warm-up for me. Just doing 8 reps, just getting the repetitions in, pretty much drilling the exercise. So then when I go into the heavy set, my form is down, how I feel, like that's the main reason why I kind of like to prepare myself. And when I was younger, like I would start with like 40s, 15 reps, 60s, 15 reps, 70s, 15 reps, and then I'll get to like 80s, be tired by that point. So now, if I jump to like, I'll do the 100s, that's my last preparation set, and then I'll get to my first actual working set. All right, better go into my first working set. I'm gonna go for the 110s. I'm gonna go for 8 reps. It should be an easy 8 reps. Ideally, I probably can get this for like 15, but I'm just gonna go for 8 and just build up in weight. That didn't feel too bad. Something with the metal dumbbells, it just feels like the stability is a little off, but it felt good. All right, better go into my second working set, which will be the 120s. Now I'm gonna go for like 10 and 12 reps for this set. Right before I do my set, I kind of like to be a little calm. I don't like to be very antsy or be really riled up. I used to when I was younger, but now I just stay calm, so then the reps are more composed and I'm in more control. A heavy set, so that last rep, my lockout power isn't there, so I got to really build my triceps. I believe I got like 9 reps, so that's 2 working sets. Now I'm about to drop down to 110s, go for 8 to 10 reps. That'll be it for this exercise. But I'm feeling really good right now, 9 weeks out. Pumps are still full, good energy, and the nap really helped. All right, moving on to the next exercise. After doing the dumbbell presses, I feel like my chest is pretty full. Now I'm gonna do the Smith machine incline press. The goal is to do 4 working sets, aiming for 8 to 12 reps. And then I will increase weight as needed, but as long as I'm reaching that rep range, that's the ultimate goal. And when I'm doing this, make sure your arms aren't flared out like this. You want to tuck your elbows in and drive up. And also you don't want to go too deep because you don't want to put a lot of strain on your shoulders. So I'm going to demonstrate how I like to do it. And then, like I said, 4 sets, 8 to 12 reps. And I don't like to go too wide either. I go kind of like shoulder width. I got one more. That was a good set. All right, moving on to the next exercise. We're gonna be doing a chest press and then supersetting with kind of like an incline press, focusing on your upper chest. For this, I'm gonna go for 8 to 12 reps and then immediately go right into the superset. That's where we are, 9 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. I like to go really heavy early in the workout, and then midway towards the end, I like to build a lot of volume, train kind of smart, not do anything too crazy because I'm not trying to get injured. But I like to use different sequences, as you can see. Overall, the pump is very nice. So for this exercise, we'll be doing the hex press. I'm gonna aim for about 8 to 10 reps. When you're doing this, the goal is to try to keep the dumbbells aligned the whole way and then squeeze at the top, kind of straightening your arms. And you don't want to go too heavy on this. You want to use a weight that you can really control and focus on just the contractions. I have about 50-pound dumbbells here, I believe, or 55, and the weight is very manageable, especially at this point of the workout. Very good exercise to build in your inner and upper chest. And then immediately right after doing the hex press, I went ahead and did kind of like a shoulder width grip push-up, and I go for about 10 to 12 reps here as well. This is one of the best exercises for chest in my opinion, just traditional push-ups, and it's something that I really neglected over the years, and I felt like when I added it back in, my chest has grown so much more. Right after doing the push-ups, I go ahead and get one dumbbell, and I kind of do kind of like a front raise, but my goal is to kind of contract my chest at the top of the rep and then control the negative to get a good stretch into the chest. And I find that this really helps with just kind of just getting your chest really full. Good volume exercise here. I do about a total of 2 sets of this. You don't need a lot of sets just because it's a pretty big superset and there's a lot of volume within a single set. So I go for about 8 to 12 reps for the hex press, 8 to 12 reps for push-ups, and 8 to 12 reps again. But yeah, my pump is really, really good. I hit a flex afterwards. I think got some sweat in my eye. But yeah, this is where I'm at right now, 9 weeks out. Feeling great, feeling good. So if finish up the workout, I do some chest dips. The goal here is to kind of lean forward so then you can really contract your chest. And then I go for about 10 to 12 reps, a total of 4 working sets. At this point of the workout, my chest is pretty fatigued, so my goal is to just kind of just burn out. But I love doing chest dips. It helps get a good contraction. I'm only gonna rest for about 45 seconds in between sets, so that way we're keeping the reps in and the momentum going. Fresh out the gym, just finished up the chest workout. Give you guys a quick little physique update. Again, this is where I'm at. I would say I'm in a pretty solid spot right now, being 9 weeks out. You can see my obliques. I'm getting tighter every single week, and I'm making pretty good progress. Strength is still there, as you can see. I was able to push to 120 today, and it wasn't really too difficult. It felt pretty good. But overall, I had a great workout. Hope you guys follow the sequences and read everything through. But yeah, I feel great being 9 weeks out, and I can't wait to show you guys the final package. About to dig into this last meal of the night. I do have a little refeed here. I have just 2 rolls of sushi. I chose cleaner options just because, you know, I don't want anything fried. Anything that's just gonna mess with my digestion, I try to stay away from. So I know my body pretty well at this point. And sushi is like something I would regularly eat if I'm not on prep. And I know I could digest it pretty well. And the purpose of a refeed is, you know, if you're really depleted or if you're kind of like stalling out and not really seeing much progress, you might wanna throw in a refeed or a cheat meal so then you can get your metabolism running again. And if you're in a deficit for too long, that could be an indicator where you're over dieting or you're doing a bit too much, and you kind of have to replenish your body with a bit of extra calories, and it will benefit you. So I have a refeed today, and it works out perfectly because I did train chest and I'm trying to grow my chest, and that's something I'm trying to improve. So having this refeed right now is kind of a blessing, but I'm very excited to share with you guys my final package. I'm gonna show you guys every single week how I'm looking and how I'm training, getting ready for this competition, and hope you guys are all enjoying this content. But that's gonna wrap up today's video. Gotta get back on the grind again tomorrow. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.